Welcome back to Into the Breach. This is one of my all-time favorite games. It's made by Subset Games, the folks that made FTL, which is another one of my favorite all-time games. They make kind of old-school feeling roguelike style games, but with a lot of interesting tactics and strategy they do a really good job of creating a set of systems that are extremely simple on their face, but that lead to a lot of just hugely varied experiences and situations on the ground. So I really love their work. Ben Prunty's soundtracks are also really, really good. These are among the few game soundtracks I've actually bought and that I listen to independent of the game. So this game is awesome. It's also very old. The reason I'm playing it right now is because you can see by my weird little Witcher icon right there, this game has been put out by Netflix on mobile platforms. Historically, Into the Breach, I believe, was only available on PC and Switch, I think. But I've been wanting it on my mobile platforms for a long time. It's just a really, really fun game to sort of drop in, and pass the time with. And so it's perfect for that kind of platform. But basically, yeah, so Netflix has now put it on there. When I heard that Netflix was getting into games, I actually genuinely had no idea what to expect. Part of me was thinking, are they going to start, launching simple games inside the Netflix app? Are they going to build it in that way? Are you going to be streaming these games? Because that seems like that's Netflix model. But no, what it is this is a game that I just downloaded from the App Store for free. But what allows me to play it is I sign into my Netflix account. So it's basically Netflix publishing games and providing a Game Pass-like account that lets you play all of these games at no additional charge, as long as you're paying for your Netflix membership. So that's what they did. And so I have not gone past the title screen yet, because this is not just original Into the Breach. This is Into the Breach Plus or something. As far as I understand, they've added new content. They've added a bunch more variety. And so there's a lot of stuff for an old school player of Into the Breach who has, I believe, 100%ed it multiple times on different platforms to get into it again. So this is great. I've been honestly, I love excuses to get back into Subset Games stuff. So let's hit new game and find out what happens. Humanity destroyed. Vec threat unstoppable. Mission failed. Open a breach. Time to go back and try again. So the basic idea is you play a team of mech pilots who are time-traveling mech pilots. And one of the advantages you get from being time-traveling mech pilots is you always know in advance what the enemy is going to do. This is kind of like Edge of Tomorrow, but inverted, where you are the aliens don't see into the future. You can see into the future, and that gives you an advantage. You can see what the enemy is going to do. You're playing these little tactical combat scenarios. You can see in advance what the enemy is going to do, and then you choose what you're going to do to stop them. So this is just the regular starter squad. What happens if I hit change squad? Okay, so this is the set of squads that were originally available when I first played the game, but now there's a second page, and there are more of them, some of which have mysterious red shadows. And there's a secret squad that I can unlock with 25 coins. Okay, so throughout the game, you earn coins for accomplishing things. And those coins let you unlock new options in the game. So they're starting me with the most vanilla possible squad, which is the Riftwalkers. But over time, I'll be able to unlock all these other squads. And the fact that there are more squads to discover is pretty fun and exciting. And you'll see how interesting the strategy of this game is and why you would be interested in getting more squads in a bit. So let's just go with the generic stuff here. I should point out, by the way, that you've got these little achievements across the top, like Watery Grave, Ramming Speed, and Island Secure. The way that you earn coins is not by just grinding things, it's by doing specific actions. And this is how Subset sort of gets you to try to play the game in the most interesting way. Because, there's always an obvious solution to things, but they're trying to use these achievements. Like, they're dangling coins in front of you saying, hey, you can unlock stuff if you learn to play the game in the most interesting possible way. So, for instance, I'm going to be looking for opportunities to drown enemies in water, 3 enemies in a single battle. I'm going to be trying to kill an enemy 5 or more tiles away with a dash punch, which is an ability one of my units has. And I'll be trying to complete the first corporate island. Well, we'll see if we can get that done this session. I should acknowledge, by the way, I've got a bunch of people watching me in the chat. La Coalition Cogs, Pixel Gamer, Director Cosmic, Raneth Cord, of course, is here. Stealthy Assassin. It's good to have all of you around. And, yeah. Oh, hey, Ranithcore just got home from the new Thor movie. How did you like it? I was interestingly sort of on the fence about it, because on one level, I thought it was hilarious, and on another, the tone of the hilarity felt like it was fighting the rest of the movie, and I was having trouble taking the parts that I needed to take seriously enough because of the tone of the comedy. It was interesting. It was just sort of like, it was like the distance that they took Thor Ragnarok away from the rest of the MCU. It's like they took it again the same distance, and it might have been a little bit too far. It might have strained it a little bit for me. But at the same time, it was legitimately funny, and I had a great time. Anyway, sorry, that was a little digression. Let's get started with our first mission. Let's go with normal difficulty and drop our mechs onto the surface of the Earth. These corporate islands are the Vex breeding ground. Wipe them out here, we save the world. All right, so we're going to start with the one island we're allowed to start with at the very beginning. And it just gives a little outline of the threats we're going to face. And here is Archive Inc.'s CEO. You've shown up in the nick of time. The Vec are overrunning our island archive. The old Earth relics here still have some fight in them. They could use... I can't read today. I apologize. They could help us. Okay, so no, I don't think I need the tutorial. I should be able to figure out what I'm doing. Now, I haven't used the controls for this game quite yet, but so we'll see how easily I figure those out. So you'll notice that the island is divided into territories. Each territory has got a particular prize that you could potentially win for beating it. And see, so the power grid at the top of the screen, those orange pips, if the power grid goes down, everything fails. We lose the game. So we got to keep that high. And so you can see that Remembrance Point here, I can, if I destroy the dam and if I block Vec spawning 3 times during the battle, I'm going to get 2 stars. With the secondary archives, if I don't kill a particular enemy called the volatile Vec, I'll get a star. And if I protect the coal plant, I'll get some power. So I can kind of decide which of those prizes I want. I'm not going to be able to play all of the battles on this island. Eventually, I'll beat the island before I've done them all, so I need to carefully choose what I'm going to get. The stars are used to upgrade my units. The power is used to sort of keep everybody alive. So I think I'm going to go for the stars. And you notice again, they don't just have you grinding traditional accomplishments. Not only do I earn those coins through achievements, but also I earn the basic stars within a run with achievements. So I'm going to try to destroy the dam. I'm going to try to block spawning 3 times. All right, so let's figure out... So I've never done this with a touchscreen before. I've only done this with a mouse and keyboard or a console controller. So I'm not dead certain how this is going to work. Okay, so I've got these 3 enemies right here. I've got my combat mech, which is a kind of melee guy, but I think he can advance on the enemies really quickly. So I'll want him somewhere. This guy, I believe, he's got a ranged cannon. And so putting him in a position where he could shoot the dam could be good. And then this guy I usually put in the back because he's got indirect fire, which means he can fire as far as he wants over obstacles, and he's fine. So I'll put him in a position where he can easily slide back and forth and address different enemies. So let's try that. Confirm. It was very intuitive, by the way, that I needed to just grab my mechs and drag them around. Okay, so you can see the enemies take their first turn. They move around. And they've each done a different thing. Plus, we've got 2 new spawn points for enemies. So I got to figure this out. So we've got this flying dude, whatever these guys are called, a Hornet. We got a Hornet that's going to attack my dude. That's what he's going to do in his next turn. Luckily, all I have to do to solve that problem is just move my guy out of the way, and that thing is going to accomplish nothing. This guy right here, this Firefly, he's going to attack this building, and you notice the building has got 2 power icons. Each time that building takes a hit, I'm going to take a hit to my grid defense, those orange pips at the top of the screen. And if I lose all of those, I end the game. I can lose my mechs. I can get my mech pilots killed, and they'll be replaced by AI, and they'll survive. Getting them killed is actually okay. It's getting these buildings killed is going to lose the game, which really changes the entire dynamic of this game. What it involves is you end up very often feeling, like the best choice you can make is to throw yourself into the path of danger in order to protect civilians, which I love that. The way that they've set it up, so that I end up doing these heroic things, being motivated to do these heroic things, not by violating the game, but like the game has encouraged me. This is how you win. So I think probably one of the best moves I can make is to take this guy, use his attack here, and then okay, so I think there's an upgrade I can do to this attack that will let me rocket across the world, but I can't do that right now. So let me think, what can I do? So let me wait. How do I is it disarm? Okay, cool. I was trying to figure out how do I get away from that. Okay, so I can move him and then I can attack with him to knock this guy away. So now I've accomplished 3 things in one move. I've moved him out of the way of the Hornet. I've stood him on top of a spawn point, which means he's going to take damage, but he'll block the spawn, which is going to help me get a star. And I've knocked this guy out of the way so that he's going to still shoot the way he was going to shoot before, but now he's no longer going to hit the building. So that worked really well. This guy has got a little bit more of a problem. He is tied up. He cannot move. All he can do is shoot. And so one option he has is to just shoot the guy that's in front of him. So let's try that. Okay, yeah, so now he's shot the guy that's in front of him, and the guy has now been pushed back. He's no longer attacking him, and he's freed. But I believe that once you fire, your turn is over. You can move before you fire, but you can't move after you fire. So my turn is over. And now the question is, what am I going to do with Fox here? So Fox has got this artillery that can fire straight in any direction. And I believe that the damage it does, I think that it does damage to a local tile, but it pushes other things away around that tile. So it'll damage the center tile, but it'll also push people away around it. And so, for instance, if I wanted to, I could use it to push this Hornet up into that building. Now, there's no reason I should do that. Like, the Hornet would take damage from the collision, but so would the building. That would be a bad idea. But you can actually use this artillery guy to move characters around on the field. You don't necessarily always use him for damage. So, okay, so I think, yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of damage to that guy and slide this guy over a little bit. Ooh, and he's on fire. I had forgotten that when you attack a forest catches fire and also sets any enemies on fire. So he might actually take an additional point of damage next turn. Let's see. I've forgotten a lot about this game, so yeah, there we go. Fire damage. He's gone. So that was cleverer than I knew it would be, which is great. So now I blocked spawning 1 time. I need to do it 3 times. Ooh. Okay, so we've got a slight problem here. I've got a few different problems here. This guy, he's got 2 guys attacking him. He will be killed next turn if I don't change anything. He can't move right now because he's imprisoned. So if I want him to be able to move, I need to free him first. And so the question is, what order do I want to do all of this in? So I could grab Fox and have Fox shoot here, which will slide that guy out of the way, but it'll slide him into a position where he's going to be attacking the building. So let's not do that. I could move Fox over and fire right here, which will push him in the other direction, which is probably fine. So that's an option. But let's undo that move. By the way, until you actually attack, I believe that movement, you can make as many moves as you want, and until you've actually incurred some problem, some penalty, you can undo your moves. So you can try stuff out, see what will happen, like visualize it. Like particularly if you have trouble sort of visualizing the map, you can try things out, see how they'll work, and then back up a little bit if that's not what you wanted to do. So Chloe here can, again, shoot this guy away. That won't do very much damage. Unfortunately, these characters are not great at doing damage. So she can do that. How? And then, okay, this guy's only going to take... He only has 1 damage left to take. I'm wondering, is there some way that I can use him to hurt the other guy. Like, probably not. Yeah, no, I don't think I can. Because getting them to shoot each other is one of my favorite things, but I don't think I can actually pull that off. So I think I'm going to have to go with maybe a more vanilla solution, which is what I was suggesting before. I knock this guy to the side, which frees this guy up to not be killed. He takes that guy out. He stays standing on the spawn point, so we're still blocking the spawn point. And then Chloe shoots that guy. So again, everybody's safe-ish, but we're going to have 2 more enemies join us. We killed 1 enemy, we're going to have 2 more join us, so this is going to get hairy. So yeah, he just set another fire. He attacked nothing. Now, he can't block another one of those. He only has 3 hit points. He can't block another one of those without dying. So I'd like to avoid that if I can. So I have blocked spawning twice. Okay, yeah, so they're reminding me I only have 2 turns left. If somebody can take a shot at the dam, they should. So, okay, here we've got an interesting situation. So how much... The dam has got 2 hit points. I can survive. My characters can survive water, but the enemy can't, except for certain extra large enemies. So if I can manage to take out this dam, I'll wipe out both of those scorpions. But I've got a problem, which is I think if I wanted to do that, I would have to, because the dam takes 2 hits, I can't just kill it with one of my guys. I would have to have 2 guys shoot at it, which means I'd only have 1 guy left. Which basically means this guy would be left. And this guy is not in a position to solve the rest of the problems I have. Because he could get out of the way of the firefly that's shooting at him. He could get out of the way of that firefly, but then the shot would hit the building. And that's... I'm not willing to accept that. How much damage is this guy going to do? He's only going to do 1 point of damage, so I could let this guy take damage. So what I'm thinking is... Okay, how much damage does the firefly do? This is how you think when you're doing this game. So this firefly, he's going to do 1 damage. And so I could have him attack his own friend by knocking him in that direction. Wait, how... Okay, yeah, so I can get Fox into a position where he could... where he could both knock this firefly to the right and knock Chloe out. And then that would free him to move and take out this guy. Take him out? I think it would take him out. Okay, let's start playing this out, because it's starting to get complicated enough in my head. I'm not sure how it'll play out. So let's do that move. Knocks them aside. So now this guy's going to shoot his own friend, but not enough to kill him. And then I'm going to grab this guy, knock the scorpion out over there. Now he's on fire, so even though he's attacking that building right now, I think the fire is going to take him out first. I think that's how that works. I still need to block 1 more spawn, but I can't this turn. Oh, and that's going to be a problem. I'm not going to get the spawn blocking one. I don't think I've got a way to do it. Dang. No, wait. Oh, I just thought of what I could have done. I think I just thought of what I could have done. I shouldn't have moved the firefly. I should have moved the octopus dude. What are these guys called here? The scion. I should have moved the scion instead. So I could have moved this guy first, Mike Mech first, then move that guy in the way. He would have blocked the spawn. Everything else could have played out roughly the same. Okay, so you get 1 chance to reset a turn even after you've done damage. So let's reset this turn and try it again. So, now, I'm going to move him first. I'm going to punch this guy. He's on fire. I think he's going to be out of commission. Then I move Fox over here. Knock that guy into the way. So now he's going to block the spawn, and I'm going to get my spawn blocked. So I couldn't wait until the last turn because nothing spawns on the last turn. So this is my last chance to block a spawn. So I've done that, and now I'm going to let Chloe take a hit from this guy. But I'm going to do 1 damage to the dam, which means I'll be able to take the dam out in the next turn. So yes, he dies from the fire. Chloe takes a hit. The Scion takes a hit, and the Scion takes another hit from blocking the spawn. So the Scion's out. And unfortunately, dang it, nobody is standing in the way of the dam. Okay, what kind of hit points do we have here? Ooh, okay, we do have another opportunity here, though, which is we could knock one guy into another guy. I wonder. I've actually forgotten if somebody will do damage if I'm taking all of their hit points out. But let's try this. So I'm going to move over here and attack that guy. Yeah, okay, so he dies. And then I'm going to move Chloe over here, shoot at the dam to take the dam out. Which floods the area, which doesn't that look amazing? And then this guy's only got 1 hit point left, and so I can use my artillery to take him out. So we have 1 surviving enemy, but that surviving enemy isn't doing any damage. And after this turn, I automatically win. And so, because the timer is working against the enemies, and basically all I have to do is survive. I got 2 stars. All I have to do is survive until a certain turn. That means that all of the strategies for biding my time become really, really valuable. Like, you know, because there's a lot of strategies that are about killing the enemy, and a lot of other strategies that are about moving the enemy around and keeping them from doing harm, minimizing their harm while they're around. And because the timer benefits me, that means that instead of feeling like, well, you know, like feeling like I always have to do whatever move will do the most damage to the enemy, which is often true in a lot of other like tactical games, just the thing that does the most damage is often the only choice you can make, because ultimately all that damage adds up over time, and your ability to overcome the entire enemy squad is just about how much damage you can do. This game makes it not about that. In this game, because you can wait out the enemy, that suddenly takes all of these other strategies, the more interesting strategies, moving the enemies around, getting in each other's paths, blocking spawns, that sort of thing, all of those strategies become really, really viable, more viable than the ones that are about damaging the enemy, which means that your experience playing this game is just really different from your experience playing other tactics games. So, hey, Jedi Cyctrix showed up. Good to see you, and Tendalinse, and Comsbolt. A bunch of people. Carter JN is here. Good to have all of you here. Carter JN is looking for base recommendations in Trumbull Valley. I personally am a big fan of the farmhouse in the middle of the map, just because it's got just really easy access to everything else. But I don't know. That was my favorite in the original State of Decay, so I'm biased. Anyway, so I protected 1,000 civilians, which is all of the civilians, and I didn't lose any power. And now that region is saved, and so now I get access to a couple of other regions. So this one, it's the one that's going to give me the most stars. So I need to. So for this one, this is saying kill at least 7 enemies. So that means I don't want to be blocking spawns, because if I block too many spawns, I won't have very many enemies to kill. And it also wants me to protect the clinic. But it says there are tidal waves. So tidal waves are great because they're going to drown enemies. Basically, if I can get the enemies onto the coastline, I can have them get consumed by water. And actually, this might be a really good way for me to get that 1 coin that I've been looking forward to. So let's give that a try. Start mission. All right, so the enemies get the first turn after I deploy. So let's... What's the best place? I think I want to be pushing enemies in to stuff with this guy. And yeah, I want to get my melee mech as close to the enemy as I can. Well, there aren't a lot of great choices here. I'll say this is as good as anything. Ooh, a pod. Pods get you extra stars. Those are really good. Okay, so that guy can move around like crazy. That guy is going to keep standing on the tidal wave. And I think the tidal wave takes action before the enemies do. There's a way to check that. And I've forgotten what it is. But yeah, I do believe that the tidal wave is going to kill that enemy before he has the chance to act. So, how much... Okay, so that guy... He's got 3 hit points. So if I punch him and he catches fire, then he'll be out. So I think claiming the pod, first of all... Oh, it's not stars that it gets you. It gets you another resource. But anyway, I've claimed the pod. And then if I hit him, I think that will take him out completely. No! He leaves the tile and does not catch fire. Okay, good to know. But one thing that I can do is if I can kill the green scion, I believe, is giving extra health to the enemy. So if I kill the green scion, that guy will lose his last piece of bonus health. An attack order here is telling me that nothing useful, actually. Okay, so if I can kill the scion... Okay, actually, what... Okay, so what I think attack order is sort of telling me is I think that the enemies that show up from those spawn points, I think that happens last, after all the enemies act. Which means if I depend on knocking the scion into a spawn point to kill it, then it will be killed after that hornet has already attacked the building. So that's not going to work. So I have to genuinely kill it. And also, if I relied on the firefly to kill, the firefly is going to take its turn 4th. And so again, it'll happen after the hornet. The hornet is acting first. I think actually the tidal wave, the environment, is acting first. And then, yeah. Okay, so the environment's going to kill the firefly anyway. So I think that I might just want to take both of my damaging guys and use them to kill the scion, which will also kill the hornet. So let's fire that guy into here. And then I guess I can preemptively kill the firefly by knocking it into the water. So now everything's dead. We got them all at once. Awesome. So now we got 3 more enemies to show up. We'll see if these guys helpfully stay right next to the seacoast. Yep, that guy is gonna... Oh. Okay. So both of those guys, the first 2 guys who moved the 2 scorpions, they're both gonna get killed by the tidal wave. And the tidal wave is gonna happen before the enemies make their move on me. So really the only enemy I have to worry about is the hornet. So I guess I can just... I mean, there's a few different things I could do. If I use this guy to take out the hornet, I'm going to miss an opportunity, which is, I think, to move this guy over close to those spawn points so that he can fight enemies. This is my guy who does 2 damage per hit. The other 2 only do 1 damage per hit. So because this guy does 2 damage per hit... By the way, I appreciate this game has very small, chunky numbers, so that it's really easy for me to just calculate in my head how much damage I have to do, and and easily remember how much damage each attack does. Because it's in numbers like 1, 2. It's not like, well, this one does 57 damage and this one does 73 damage. Like, that's just too complicated. This game is about very simple lock and key decision making, and so they keep the numbers very small, which is extremely helpful. Oh, hey, Jedi Psych by the way, is talking about the fact that she's getting to spend time with her kids this summer, which is really cool, and that they did an escape room. So my daughter did an escape room last night too. That's fascinating that's what you were doing. I've never done an escape room before. I know people who've designed them, but I've never actually had the experience myself. My daughter said she really liked it though. Okay, so let's try to do this without using him. Let's first shoot at this guy with Chloe, and then I think Fox can move into this position and take him out. Oh, but if I take him out right now, I'm going to knock my friend into the fire. So let's not do that. Let's move my friend. Okay, so let's count the enemies. I'm going to kill 3 enemies this turn, which means I'll need to only kill 1 more, which is good because that means I can block a spawn without running out of enemies. Sometimes I've made the mistake of blocking too many spawns and then I couldn't hit my enemy killing goals. I think blocking 1 spawn is going to be fine. So now that I've blocked that spawn, now this guy will shoot, take that guy out, and I believe what's going to happen is these 2 enemies, these remaining 2 enemies, are going to be hit by the tidal wave before they have the chance to damage Chloe. And I think I'll also get my coin for killing 3 enemies with water. So let's see how that goes. So, yes, they're both killed. Yes, we got Watery Grave. And I've blocked an enemy, and we only need to kill 1 more. So let's start by punching this one in the face. So he took 2 damage from my punch and 1 damage from colliding with his friend. And then I can do this to knock him into the water. And one thing I should point out, by the way, my guys can survive being in water. That doesn't kill them, which, again, it's a choice that they made to open up more options for me. The more resilient my guys are to environmental hazards, the more I'm likely to use those environmental hazards against the enemy. But you'll notice my guy can't fire. See that the weapon is waterlogged, so Chloe can't fire while in the water. So if I wanted Chloe to fire, I would have to move Chloe out. Now, it turns out there's no enemies, so it doesn't matter. But there we go. And if we end this turn, we will have also successfully protected the clinic. Now I'm wondering... dang it. So I've always wanted them to give me that last star visibly on that screen before wrapping up the round, and they never do it. I thought maybe when they updated the game for Netflix, they would put that little moment in where you get the star for having protected the clinic, but no. That's just a weird little personal thing that I have about it. But I got the time pod. Let's open the door and see what's in there. So we've got a passive ability where all of my mechs gain 1 hit point. Okay, that sounds amazing. Plus a reactor core, which is used to upgrade mechs. So cool. So, yeah, so I've got reactor cores. I'm trying to remember. I actually forgot. I think I might make those upgrades. Do I do them between missions, or is it... Yeah, is it right now? So, okay, we've got this passive ability, which means all mechs gain 1 hit point. So, who should get that? Everybody has got an open slot. So I guess it doesn't matter that much, but let's just install... Oh, but it's not powered. Right, so I need to install some extra power to make that happen. There we go. Okay, so I installed the extra reactor core that I got out of that pod, and I installed the passive thing. So now all my characters, now all my mechs are gonna have more health, which is amazing. I can block more spawn points. I can throw myself in the way of bullets. It'll be great. So yeah, so you've got these you've got these slots that you can fill. You see where the Taurus cannon is and networked armor. I've got these slots that I can fill with equipment, which fundamentally change what this mech does in a lot of ways. And then I can also, underneath those, and also underneath the health and the move, I can just spend power in order to upgrade these things, do extra damage, have extra health, extra movement, that sort of thing. And so really a lot of I'll be spending my resources on, I think my stars and the reactor cores that I get out of pods, I'll be spending those on upgrading the power of my mechs so that I can refuel their abilities, or fuel new abilities. And eventually, like as I progress from island to island, each time you complete an island, the other islands get tougher. And so each island is going to be tougher than the last. But so I need to be earning these upgrades in order to let my mechs keep pace with the progress of the enemies. Red, of course, says, wow, that time pod was a lot better than I remembered them. Yeah, so that particular passive that I just got, I think was particularly powerful. They might have contrived for that one to show up in my very first session here. Okay, so I tend to go primarily for the ones that offer the most stars because that accelerates your upgrade process. So, defending the tanks, that's actually a pretty easy one sometimes. So let's see here. Melee guy in the front. Though actually, let's... Okay, I'm going to try this So I've got these 2 tanks, and these tanks are going to be under threat, and I have to protect them. Eventually, they actually... right now, I think they're disabled. Eventually, they actually come to life, and you can use them as auxiliary units, which is kind of a fun feature in this level. So let's go with that and see what the enemy does. Okay, yeah, so he's threatening the tank. They're both threatening tanks. Okay, so I need... Okay, so as long as I knock each of them off kilter with a different one of my characters, will be good. Just trying to think. What's the best way to do this? So... Okay, what order are they going to attack in? Aha! Okay, so the middle Scorpion is going to attack before the left Hornet, which means I could use it to finish off that Hornet if I needed to. So the question is, do I want to do that? Because this guy, my combat mech, he can do 2 damage. He could just kill this guy outright, which might honestly be the better move. We've got 2 more joining us, though. Oh, okay, here's a move I can make. I can go down here and shoot that guy. Now, it would be kind of cool if that enemy spawn was going to happen first and then get attacked, but that's not how it happens. All the attacks happen before the enemy spawn happens. So, okay, so single-handedly, Chloe stopped that Hornet from hurting the tank and blocked a spawn. So that's a very efficient move. Now I'm just trying to think. Should this guy punch the Scorpion, which has 3 hits, or I think I should punch the one that I can kill in 1 turn, and then I should use this guy to... Now, how should I do this? I think I could go like... That's probably the best move, I think. Just knocking him away. I guess I could have damaged him. Oh, no, what I should have done, actually, I should have damaged him. I should have damaged the Scorpion and pushed my guy away. I had forgotten. For a second, I had forgotten that I both damage and move targets. And so I was thinking, oh, I could either damage him or move him. And damaging him would mean he would still hit my combat mech. But no, I was wrong. I would have moved the combat mech out of the way, and that would have been the better move. So I didn't make the best move right there, but I think it'll be fine. I think it's still recoverable. So these 2 make fruitless attacks at empty squares. Okay, so we're attacking buildings. All right, so I could easily knock him away. Yeah, so I think, again, I think this makes the most sense. Take that guy out, block a spawn. And similarly here, I could stay blocking a spawn and knock him away. And then I'm thinking maybe my best move... I think my best move is to light him on fire, because that will do damage overall to all of the enemies, rather than trying to specifically do damage to this guy. So that's what I'm going to try. So yeah, he took fire damage, which means Scorpion's got less hit points. I'm blocking both of those spawns again. Okay, so now... Okay, I can't get far enough to go help with the Scorpion with this guy. However, now I've got working tanks. So I can use the tank to shoot that guy out of the way. He's now got 2 hit points. I can bust this guy out of the way into the water. I can stay on both of these positions. this guy can set him on fire. And so Chloe kind of hasn't done anything, so she can keep blocking for one more turn, and then she's in trouble at that point. I'm wondering, though, if maybe it makes sense to move her here so that she's blocking this one instead, just because it keeps the enemies further away from their targets. That feels good to me. I don't know if that actually is going to make a positive difference, but whatever. Enter. So he burns to death. We block 2 spawns. We only get 2 enemies. And... okay, so that guy's trying to shoot the tank. But he's got 3 hit points, so if I knock him into the fire with this guy, now he's going to catch on fire. So that's good. And then the question is, I do like to eliminate the enemies, even if I have the ability to just survive them. So I'm going to shoot him right there. And actually, you know what? Even though these two have caught fire, and they're going to die anyway, I kind of want to let the tanks kill them. Oh, wait, I forgot. The tanks don't actually do damage. I forgot about that. That's right. So basically, the tanks are defenseless because even though they can push enemies around, they don't do damage. I had forgot that. I thought they did 1 point of damage. They don't. They just push enemies. Luckily, the enemies remain on fire, so I think we're still probably good. Let's look at attack order. Yeah, so fire damage happens number 1. So these enemies are going to both take fire damage before they get the chance to move. So even though they look like they're going to do damage, they're not. Let's end the turn. They both die of fire. And we're good. The Rift Walkers are heroes. Okay, oh, and we got a promotion. So he's got a new skill unlocked, which is +2 mech XP. So he's got tons of mech HP. He's got a ton of hit points now. So yeah, so each of these pilots, so you can pair a pilot. Like when you're setting up your team, eventually when you one of the things you can do is pair specific pilots with specific mechs. So the mechs come with their own abilities, and most of the verbs that you have come with the mechs. But the pilots also have their own abilities that they unlock. And so these two, I think, are more generic pilots. They get more generic things, but you can start. I believe that you can unlock pilots over time, or maybe you just sort of pick them up and rescue them. That might be what it is. I think you pick them up and rescue them during the game, and then you can slot in pilots that have special abilities that are particularly good for the mechs that they're piloting. So, all right. So I think we got to pick one more target. So we don't have any more 2-star targets, but we do have ones that have a star and some power, which is good. So, okay, end the battle with less than 4 mech damage. So I can't just be jumping on the spawn points all the time if I need to have less than 4 mech damage. Whereas this one is defend the artillery and protect the batteries. That feels a little bit easier to get done with my standard tactics. This map is interesting though because there's a lot of buildings in each other's way. I'm gonna try this one, but I might be signing up for something difficult here. So let's put the artillery in the back. Let's try to block off their access, like to getting in and among the buildings. Let's see how this works. Let's turn the Vec into relics. Okay, interesting. So I've got the artillery, which does what exactly? It does real damage. It'll do 2 damage to each of 2 tiles. So but it can only move 1 space at a time. So I can take this guy out by focusing fire on him. So good. And now the question is, Because this guy's got a lot of health. So, yeah. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to knock this guy away. Then I'm going to use the artillery to do that. Now, this guy is going to damage me, but I can take 1 damage. That'll be okay. And then I will... Yeah, I will shoot this guy. And then I will shoot him again. And I think we're okay. We're going to take 1 damage, but that's fine. I don't have a damage limit. Except for just, I mean, the maximum limit, I guess. But now we're going to have 4 enemies to deal with. Because I failed to kill those 2. Okay, so threatening, threatening. Okay. So, the order is the Firefly attacks before the Hornet on the right side. So, if I slide the Firefly over to the right and do 1 damage, then they'll kill each other. That feels good. Okay, so let's try that. Wait a minute. Before I do that, let's think through what else I need to do, because I think I can use my artillery to take out that guy. But that sets that forest on fire, so I'm glad that I did not try to move my artillery into that forest. So we'll move him here, do that, and then do that. And now they're going to hurt each other. And then I can... Oh, wait. I was acting like I was going to knock him into blocking the spawn, but I'm not doing that. But that's fine. Okay. I think we're still good. So now they hurt each other, which is great. And he blocks the spawn. So we got extra health now because the Scion's here. But I bet that won't last long. Alright. So let's take the Scion out. First of all, and then let's knock this guy in here. And then that's kind of all I need to do this turn. I mean, I guess, yeah, doesn't seem like there's an important move for me to make. Otherwise, I can just end the turn right here. Let's see who these 3 are. Okay, attacking a building, attacking me, attacking another building. Oh no! Okay, so I can... Let's see. Okay, so this Hornet on the right is the one that's going to be the toughest to get, I think. So, yeah, so I think that my artillery cannot get into position to hurt anyone right now. Unless... Okay, this is going to be silly, but I'm going to move him to the right. To the left, I mean. And then... Okay, let's attack my own friend. To knock that guy to the side, so that then the artillery can kill him. And then... We'll do that. And then... That... Didn't kill everything, but I think we're in pretty decent shape there. And we achieved both of our objectives. Even though it doesn't give me the payoff in that last moment, we still took out both of those objectives. So you'll notice I got one of those orange pips back, and so now they start you with less than full orange pips so that there's still value to you pursuing them, even if you're not taking damage. Oh no, seismic activity. So once we hit this point, and we've got, 3 open spots left, they have the boss battle get triggered back at the corporate HQ where you started. So, yeah, no choice. We're definitely doing this mission. So now we've got the Firefly leader. So I need to protect the corporate tower, which is here, and defeat the Firefly leader, which has a lot more health than a typical enemy, and also has some crazy attacks. So let's figure out. I think I want this guy to be on this side so that he can push people away from the tower. Let's get this guy under cover, and then... Yeah. The thing is, I don't necessarily want someone over here, because then I'll be... If I end up moving down, like here, and firing in that direction, I'll be pushing people towards the building I'm trying to protect, which makes me nervous. But then again, not having anyone over here also makes me nervous. So I'll be right there. Let's see how that works. Let's see what the enemy does. Okay, so Firefly enemy is shooting at me for how much damage? How much damage do you do? You do 4 damage. So that will actually kill Chloe if I let that happen. We don't want that to let that happen, so we'll keep that in mind. We also have a guy shooting the corporate tower, which is bad. So what is the best thing for me to do here? So I could knock that Firefly into a position where he's no longer attacking anyone, which would then free up Chloe to move and do something else. But what exactly? Yeah, these guys are arranged in a way that's not very helpful to me. Okay, so if I knock that guy onto a spawn, he'll be killed next turn. But he'll be killed after he gets a chance to shoot. So that's not good. I might not be able to get away from this unscathed. They might have outmaneuvered me here. Let me just think about this a little bit more. Because these two basically, this guy's trying to shoot this and this guy's trying to shoot that. I can't... Oh, wait, no. I can prevent both forms of damage by doing this. So now I'm blocking that little Firefly's attack, and I've eliminated his friend. Okay, so that's... I love the fact that I was looking at that for a long time, and it took me a while to figure out the single, simple, obvious thing that I could do. That's what makes this game so fun. So, now... Okay, next move. Let's push this guy back a little bit and do some damage to him. And then, let's move over here and knock him onto a spawn point where he can do little damage. So now I'm going to take 1 damage to one of my mechs. You'll notice, by the way, mech damage is always healed between missions. And so, like, really, like, throwing myself into the path of danger is so frequently the best choice. Interesting. Okay, so I could do the exact same move to that Firefly again if I wanted to. But this time I can't make a single move with this guy that takes out both of these. Well, I get... Yeah, no, I can't make a single move with this guy that takes out both of these guys. So I think what I probably need to do is use my artillery again to again knock him onto a spawn point. But then I think I need to put myself in the path of danger and put that guy in the path of danger. What order are they going to move in? Aha! So the Firefly boss is going to move first. So he's going to take out the little Firefly before it has the chance to shoot me. So, good. So I'm only going to take 1 damage because, boom. And I take 1 damage there. Oh, but I've caught fire. I forgot about the fact that I would catch fire in that position. Okay, we've got a lot going on now. There is so much. Okay. So, again, I'm trying to see, what does the Firefly leader do? Does it Okay, it kills things, but it does not knock them back. So I love the little preview you can get of what they can do, which means because he goes second, I can slide over and artillery him into position where he's going to shoot his friend. That guy's only got 1 hit point left, which means I can hit him with Chloe and just kill him. Which is the better move, I think. Yeah, so Chloe. Though actually, is that the position I want Chloe in? I think I'd rather have Chloe over here, just so she's got more versatile places she can move to later. And then I'm going to punch this guy over there. But we're going to have a lot of enemies showing up next turn, and we still have failed to kill the Firefly. So we're protecting the corporate tower. That's going well. We have not taken any damage to infrastructure yet. That's going well. But I'll be sad if I can't destroy the Firefly leader. I only have 1 more turn left to do it in. And it's going to take 2 people, or at least a person and a vent, to make this happen. Yeah, I might not be able to take out the Firefly leader. That just might not be in the cards. Because if I want Chloe to survive, she can't rescue her... Oh, she can. Oh, she can take that guy out. But then someone needs to take that guy out, because that guy's going to take out down the corporate tower. So basically, in order to keep Chloe from dying and keep the corporate tower from dying, I need to use both of these characters over here, which means I will not have the necessary firepower to take out the Firefly leader. I can survive the Firefly leader, but I'm not going to kill the Firefly leader. Am I? Am I? I don't know if I want to believe that yet. I was trying to think. So in order to kill this guy, I would need to do 3 damage to him, which means either punching him and doing extra damage. That's the thing. This guy, this is my only guy who can do 2 damage. I haven't, with some upgrades, I can get the damage of my other characters higher, but I haven't got the upgrades yet. This is my only guy who can do 2 damage. So basically, this guy has to hit the Firefly leader, and something else has to happen to the Firefly leader. Like, if I was willing to sacrifice the corporate tower, which is... Actually, losing the corporate tower is worse than failing the Firefly, because if I lose the corporate tower, I miss out on a star and I take power grid damage. If I just fail to destroy the Firefly leader, all I do is miss out on a star. So definitely the corporate tower is more important than the Firefly leader. Again, I'm really glad they balance it, so protecting civilians is always the best move. So one way to damage somebody, so there's a few ways to damage someone. Damaging them directly, also knocking them into something. Those are both valid ways to damage something. So, for instance, if I were to free Chloe by knocking this guy away, had Chloe move up here, shoot him and knock him into the artillery, then move the artillery into a position where it knocks the Firefly leader away into something else, that would kill the Firefly leader. But the problem is that requires everyone to make all of those moves, and that leaves this Hornet still attacking the corporate tower. And I don't think I've got an alternative that works. Because, yeah, this guy, I don't think this guy can, without some upgrades, he cannot get into a position where he can damage this guy at all. So this guy, Ralph, I guess, has to kill someone locally. And in order to free Chloe up to go do damage to the Firefly, he has to attack this guy right here. And if he attacks that guy, that means he's not attacking that guy. So I believe that means I cannot kill. I cannot kill the Firefly leader. Dang, this is... I just want to believe this is possible. You know, I want to believe that there's like a magical move I can make here that... Oh, wait, so Zosern says, I see one. When you say I see one, you say, do you see a move that I can make that kills the Firefly leader and protects the corporate tower? Because if you see a strategy that I can use... Okay, so you said, how about the mountain? I'm not sure what you mean by how about the mountain. I mean, I can knock him into the mountain. I can use a move to knock him into the mountain, but that will only do 1 damage to him. And if that only does 1 damage to him, then I still need to do the other 2 damage. So I think I can't do that. I can't take him out with one move. It still is 2 moves, and it still would have to be everyone except Ralph. Unless you're talking about it, I'm assuming you're talking about that mountain right there, knocking him into that mountain. If you're not talking about knocking him into that mountain, then, because I mean maybe you're saying something about this mountain, but I don't know exactly what that would be. So yeah, so what I was imagining that I could do is basically move Chloe up here, shoot him. Chloe does 1 damage and knocks him into Fox. That does 2 damage to him, so he's got 1 damage left. Then Fox would move down here and shoot right there to knock him into the mountain, and that would kill him. But in order to make all of that happen, and let's undo that move. In order to make all that happen, Ralph would first have to free Chloe by hitting that scorpion. And so if Ralph hits that scorpion, that means Ralph can't do anything else, and Ralph cannot hit this guy. And hitting this guy is what I need to do in order to protect the corporate tower. Jedi Sectric says, would it hurt you if you shot him into Chloe? You mean if I shot this guy into Chloe? Yes, so that would do 1 damage to Chloe, and then Chloe would be on fire at the end. I don't know if Chloe would take the fire damage. But I think it's irrelevant because I can't knock this guy into Chloe. I can only knock him... right now, I only have the ability to knock enemies 1 space. So because he's 2 spaces away from Chloe, I can't hit him into Chloe. And I also can't get onto the other side of him with Ralph. So... And I could, I could free Chloe. I could use Fox to step over here, shoot the mountain, and free Chloe. And that would work at getting Chloe free. But then I would have used Fox. And so then I can't use Fox to shoot this guy into the mountain. So, unless Zosern has a brilliant idea that I've missed, that they can communicate to me, that I haven't already sort of shown isn't going to work, I think that I've got my best move, which is to accept that I won't kill the Firefly leader. Zosern says no, which I think means no, I don't have a solution. If you're saying no, I don't have a solution, then yeah, I think I might need to go for this. So I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. And then and I don't have my reset turn. That's right. That's once per island. And so I can't reset. So I'm gonna wait for just 10 more seconds in case somebody's got a brilliant idea to tell me, wait. Here's what you do. But I think this is my move. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Ralph to protect the tower. I'm going to have Chloe free herself by shooting the scorpion that's imprisoned her. And I'm going to move Fox out of the way and just do whatever with Fox. It doesn't matter what Fox does at that point because the other 2 have saved the day. So with no more comments in the chat telling me I should do something else, I think that's what I'm going to... No, that's not what I meant to... What? I thought I didn't realize I had accidentally tapped his weapon. I thought I was moving him into that spot. Now I'm screwed. Am I screwed? No, I'm not screwed yet. First off, let's save Chloe. I can still knock that guy clear. He does 1 damage. I can still knock him clear with Fox. Ugh. So, he's going to do 1 damage to Ralph, but we can deal with that. That's fine. Oh, Ranithcord, you're right. I thought that the reset turn was grayed out because it was once per island, but you're right. I think it is once per battle, but it was grayed out because I hadn't done anything yet. That's why it was grayed out. So I can reset the turn if I want to, but I think I've solved it anyway. I think I'm okay. Like yeah, Ralph will take an extra point of damage, but Ralph has got hit points to spare, and that's reset at the end of the battle anyway. So that doesn't matter. So I can still accept my ramshackle solution here. So yeah, I'm sad that I'm not getting all of the stars. I think that if you get, I think there's like a special bonus or something if you get all of the stars. And I didn't get that. So that's making me sad. But we did still save the corporate tower. We did still win. That's all right. And all the people. We didn't lose a single civilian that entire time. Okay, yeah, so her movement just increased by 1. And we got an achievement for securing an island. That's good. So now let's spend our reputation. That's what the stars are. So you can see that I've got my weapons and my pilots that I've already equipped. They're showing me that there's some different weapons I could get, like a burst beam, for instance. Okay, so I've got a beam that I can do a lot of damage with that does reduce damage as it goes, but it's going to pass through a lot of stuff. It'll be really hard to avoid damaging things I care about. Then there's this thing, the shock cannon, which shoots an enemy and then splits 2 enemies apart. Oh, that's fascinating. So, okay, so what I've got 8 stars. And so usually the main thing I want to spend stars on is reactor cores. So I'm going to buy 2 reactor cores. But then I've got 2 left. I've got 2 reputation left, and I have to spend them now. I can't just save them up. So I think I do want to buy one of these weapons. And just the question is, that beam, it does sound potentially very powerful, but it's just there's so many situations where it would be the wrong move. So yeah, so it seems really dangerous. This one, honestly, this one is not that much better. It's still occupying four spots with everything it's doing. And I do like the fact that this gives me the ability to do 3 damage at once to one enemy, even if it's only at close range. Okay, I think I'm going to buy the beam. And so now I can equip that. So I think I am going to equip it on this guy because it gives him a ranged attack, which he hasn't had historically, which would give him a lot more flexibility. And then the question is, what should... Okay, so let's also install a power thing in him and then make allies immune. So now the burst beam is suddenly more valuable because allies are immune to it. And then also let's... Okay, I was about to say, let's see if I can make Chloe do more damage. But I can't quite. That's going to take 2 power. And I don't want to turn off the networked armor. Do I not want to turn off the networked armor? Actually, turning off the networked armor might be worthwhile. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to install my other power core in Chloe. I'm going to toggle off the networked armor because I haven't fully needed it. And let's give her more damage instead. I tend to like being a glass cannon. I value a good offense over a good defense. So she's going to be able to do extra damage with her Taurus cannon. And I'll try to get another reactor core so that I can turn back on the networked armor eventually. But I think her Taurus cannon being more powerful is going to be more important. By completing one island, I've unlocked the RST Corporation. In future games, you can visit the islands in any order. So now I've unlocked the desert island, but we're out of time. So I hope that I've sort of given you a sense of what this game is like. If you've never played this game before and you have a Netflix account and you've got a mobile device, go check this game out. This is like one of my favorite games ever. It's just it's just endless fun. And now that it's basically available through Netflix's Game Pass-like service, and Netflix is one of the most popular subscription services anywhere. A lot more people have Netflix accounts than have Game Pass accounts and other sort of gaming-related accounts. So if you're interested at all in this, go check it out. This is so much fun for me. I love this game. And I'm a huge fan of Subset because of this and because of FTL, which is also worth checking out. FTL, by the way, is available for purchase on iPads and stuff like that as well. It's already on mobile. All right, but yeah, I think we'd wrap this up. Oh, okay. Well, that went a little bit weird. Let's just make that go away. Right. So there's the subscribe button for my channel. Here's links to other videos. Tomorrow is going to be Playtest Thursday, so we'll be playing some State of Decay 2, and the next day I think we're going to get into Surviving the Aftermath.